Good morning, students. How are you this morning? Terrific. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, our Board of Governors, our faculty, administrators, and staff, and over 20,000 students who come to Union County College every year for an opportunity for a better life, I want to welcome everyone to our Elizabeth campus. We have a wonderful event today, and we're delighted to have this event here on the Elizabeth campus and give our terrific students, and I see our honors students and our student athletes and our scholars and our ESL students and nursing students and criminal justice students all here in the room. We're thrilled to have you here and to have you take part in this press conference this morning. In addition to our honored guest, who I'll introduce shortly, I want to introduce to you several other elected officials in the room. 3 of our Union County freeholders are here with us today. And in terms of funding Union County College, can't get a more important and a more helpful partner. They're the ones who every day work for Union County residents really tirelessly. So allow me to introduce you to freeholder Bruce Bergen, freeholder BJ Kowalski, and freeholder Angel Estrada. In addition, we have the chairman of the Union County College Board of Trustees, Mr. Vic Ritchell. Mr. Ritchell. And one of our trustees, Mr. George Castro. Welcome, trustees. They're my bosses. In addition to 20,000 students, we have a board that are my bosses. So today, for this event today, we're delighted that everyone's come to see and to hear from a great man, and that man is our Senator Bob Menendez. Senator Menendez, his story is the quintessential American success story. You know, he's the son of immigrants. Senator Menendez grew up here in New Jersey, just like you. Senator Menendez went to school, public school here in New Jersey, and just like you, went to college in New Jersey, and he knows what it's like to struggle, to pay for college, to succeed in college when you're also working and taking care of family issues and trying to pay the bills. Senator Menendez has dedicated his professional life to service. And what he specializes in is to protect the powerless from the powerful. We're proud to call Senator Menendez our senator because he's the kind of senator who fights for the poor. He fights for the working class. He fights, yes, for college students like you. We're proud to call him our senator, and we love standing with our Senator Bob Menendez because we know when push comes to shove, Senator Menendez stands up for our college students here at Union County College. So I'm honored to introduce to you our Senator, Bob Menendez.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's great to be back at Union County College. I think one of the great educational institutions of our state, and sometimes in the midst of our daily lives when we're working with people or interacting with them, we don't really appreciate what they do. But Dr. McMenamin is not just a leader for Union County College's education system, she is a leader in education in our state and in our country, and you're very fortunate to have her as the president here at Union County College. So thank you so much. I appreciate our freeholders, who are the people who govern the county and ultimately fund this institution. So they are incredibly important. So to freeholder Bergen, Kowalski, and Estrada, thank you so much for joining us. To our distinguished trustee, the head of our trustees here, thank you, because they're committed to making the college everything they can. And to all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules, both at school and I know many of you in work, to join us. And I know we're going to hear from representatives of you, and I look forward to the students who I looked at their backgrounds, pretty exceptional young people. We're here today because we believe that in the United States of America, higher education shouldn't mean higher and higher tuition bills and even higher mountains of student loan debt. And there's no better place to talk about making college affordable than here at New Jersey's first community college. Union County College was created back in 1933 as an emergency junior college, it was called then, under President Franklin Roosevelt's Public Works program. It was in the depths of the Great Depression that FDR invested in education so that students and jobless workers could rebuild America's prosperity. And after World War II, the GI Bill helped millions of veterans obtain degrees and become engineers and teachers and small business owners and future leaders. Later, President Johnson signed the Higher Education Act of 1965, the first federal commitment to help low-income students pay for college. That commitment made it possible for a son of Cuban immigrants who grew up poor in a tenement in Union City to become the first in his family to go to college, earn a law degree, and eventually stand here as one of 100 United States senators. I never forget how it is that I got here, and I want to preserve that for future generations of New Jerseyans and Americans, and that's what we're fighting for every day. So my story isn't so different from Giselle and Canu, who you're going to hear from, two UCC students who rely on programs like the Pell Grant to pursue their own dreams. And their stories remind us that education remains our economy's greatest equalizer. It creates the greatest movement for upward mobility within our society. And for America to truly be a land of opportunity, every student willing to work hard should be able to pursue a higher education. But not everyone sees it that way. Just weeks after Republicans passed a $1 trillion tax cut for corporations and the wealthiest 0.1% in the country, President Trump's budget proposed we slash student aid and loan forgiveness programs by $200 billion over the next decade. That's even more than the $150 billion in cuts proposed by the Trump White House in fiscal year 2018. These cuts would mean more young people taking on more debt, more borrowers struggling to repay loans, more students struggling to balance full-time jobs and childcare while trying to earn a degree. And for me, that was a non-starter. I came here to Union County College in 2016 promising to do more to help students, to find a way to make sure that when you graduate and you start your professional career, you're not saddled under a mountain of debt that you spend a fair amount of your time ultimately paying off instead of investing in your families and in opportunity. And so my Democratic colleagues and I stood strong against these cuts. We worked to protect students in this year's budget. And I know Mayor Bolwich, who I see you've joined us, thank you very much, the Mayor of Elizabeth. Today is Friday the 13th, and Freddy Krueger didn't win. We won in the budget fight because we stopped the budget cuts. So Trump proposed letting the value of Pell Grants for low-income students further shrink in the face of rising costs. Well, we fought back, and we secured the largest increase in Pell Grant funding in 8 years, bringing the maximum award to $6,095. That's going to help more than 5,000 students at Union County College who rely on Pell Grants every year. Trump proposed cutting the federal work-study program in half. I know about work-study because when I went to St. Peter's, I was on work-study as part of how I got through. We fought back, and we passed increased work-study funding by $140 million. And when the president proposed outright eliminating, zeroing out, the federal supplemental education opportunity grants for students who live in poverty, we fought back and increased funding by $107 million. These are all positive steps moving forward. But I'm not satisfied. we're kidding ourselves if we think we're doing enough to make college more affordable. When I graduated from St. Peter's University in 1976, a Pell Grant covered about 79% of the annual cost of attending a four-year college. But these days, Pell Grants cover just 29% of low-income students' college costs. So it's no surprise that America is facing a $1.3 trillion student debt crisis, a crisis that is holding many young Americans back from saving up to buy homes or to start families or to take risks and start new businesses. We have to alleviate this burden if we want to empower young people to unleash innovation and make the 21st century another great American century. So that's why I've joined with Senator Elizabeth Warren to co-introduce the Bank on Students Emergency Loan Refinancing Act, which would let borrowers refinance their high-interest student debt. But if we seal the fate of today's college students and the millions of high schoolers who dream of going to college in the same high-debt situation, we are saddling not just them, but we are saddling the nation. That's why I believe it's time we make free community college a reality in this country. And that's why I recently co-introduced the American College Promise Act. The legislation creates a $3 to 1 federal match for states that make community college tuition free. And we should be on our march to making that happen. If every state participated, we could help approximately 9 million full-time community college students save an estimated $3,500 on tuition a year before financial aid even kicks in. Investing in community colleges like UCC is a smart thing to do because they're accountable, they're accredited, and they're responsive to the needs of our diverse community. Our bill would encourage more states to follow New Jersey's lead and make sure students who complete two-year degrees are able to seamlessly transfer to four-year institutions like Rutgers and TCNJ. And that's one of the great things about UCC. New Jersey universities know that when you graduate from here, you are well prepared. By 2020, an estimated 65% of Americans will require some sort of training past high school. We are challenged more than at any other time in our history to be at the apex of the curve of intellect, the most highly educated generation of Americans the nation has ever had. Artificial intelligence and where that is going, the demand in science and mathematics as backgrounds, the need as an older population grows for a new generation of those who will take care of them. But today there are nearly 100 million working-age adults across America without any post-secondary certifications or degrees at all. To those who say we can't afford to train our workers in new skills or help more low-income students earn higher degrees, I say we have it backwards. What we can't afford to do is continue lavishing big corporations and wealthy CEOs with deficit exploding tax cuts while hardworking students drown in debt. In all my years of public service, I have never seen a corporate tax cut teach a child, cover a tuition bill, or pay down a student loan debt. The truth is, we cannot afford not to invest in American students and workers. This is about America's ability to compete in this 21st century where we are challenged by countries across the world, particularly in China, to mention one, that is investing enormously in its people, 1 billion people, and ultimately challenging us globally to be a global economic leader. This is about America's ability to compete in that type of environment. It's about America's ability to grow the middle class. It's about free college community as a smart, sustainable place to start. That's my mission in the United States Senate, to swing wide open the doors of opportunity for hardworking New Jersey students, just as they were swung open for me. And I never forget where I came from. I never forget who I'm fighting for, and that's why I'm here today. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
How about that? Do you have a friend in Washington? You bet, right there, Senator Bob Menendez. Thank you. So before we bring our students up, I just want to give a shout out to the mayor of the greatest city in the county, Mayor Bulwich of the city of Elizabeth. Thank you, Mayor Bulwich, for joining us here today. We're also joined by County Manager Ed Oatman. Thank you, Mr. Oatman, for your support of the college and your work for the college. Dr. Aaron Fichtner, the president of the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, has come from Trenton to join us here to see Senator Menendez. And finally, your leader on the Elizabeth campus, Dr. Lester Roppolo over there. Say hello to Dr. Roppolo. Raise your hand so that if you have a problem in Elizabeth, you know who you go to. Dr. Roppolo is your guy. So we have two students I want to hear from who are going to talk about their experiences with federal financial aid. And the first one is a young lady from the city of Linden. She is the president of our Phi Theta Kappa chapter. Phi Theta Kappa is the National Honor Society for students in community colleges across the world. She works as a tutor in our academic learning center, and she hopes to go on from here, go to law school, and become an attorney and help change the world in that way. So please join me in welcoming our PTK president, Gisela Gamboa. Gisela, come on up.
Good morning, Senator Menendez, fellow students, and Union County College supporters. First of all, I want to thank the school for allowing me to speak on behalf of the many students who have benefited immensely from receiving financial aid. My name is Gisela Gamboa, and it seems like only yesterday I was attending my first financial aid workshop at the Student Services right next door. Now, I feel that I've come full circle from submitting my first FAFSA application to standing at this podium here today. Union County College is for me, just as it is for many of you, a second home. A place where we can find a nurturing environment for our learning, where friends challenge and support each other, and where we seek refuge from financial challenges that we all face in one way or another. My story is just one of the many that has been touched by the uplifting support from those who are working towards making our college education more affordable. 2 years ago, I moved back from New Jersey after an 8-year stint in Bogota, Colombia, in the hopes of both pursuing my college education and improving the quality of life for my father, who had recently been diagnosed with lymphatic cancer. Our financial circumstances were fragile, and I did not know how my life would play out. But I had one goal in mind. I was determined to go to school. I worked 2 jobs my first semester in the hopes that my father and I could afford tuition. During my second semester, he fell ill again, and tuition seemed even more of a burden. I quickly began asking for help, and I applied for financial aid. I discovered I was actually eligible for federal work study and a Pell Grant. I was ecstatic, honestly, because this meant I could focus on my studies and live the life of service I've always wanted. This allowed me to course and continue my spring semester while also taking care of my father and my 86-year-old grandmother who suffers from dementia. I am truly thankful for the relief and support the financial aid received has provided me. Being a federal student worker and Pell Grant recipient has both helped me financially while also providing me avenues of emotional and academic growth. In just the past year, I was appointed the president of the Phi Theta Kappa Untitled Chapter at Union County College because I didn't have to worry about my finances, rather about pursuing my dreams and the goals I've always wanted to achieve. Being a federal student worker and a peer tutor at the Academic Learning Center has given me the opportunity to master the subjects I'm taking while also helping other students improve their academics. Because the financial burden of pursuing my education has been uplifted, I have been able to spend time with my younger sister and cherish the fleeting moments when my grandmother can actually remember my name. It is both the financial and emotional relief that has allowed me and many other students to flourish and discover many things about learning and life over the years here at Union County College. I am here to say thank you.
Thank you, Gisela. Great job. Next student, young lady from Roselle Park. She's a freshman biology major. She's a member of Phi Theta Kappa. She wants to graduate from Union County College and go on to become a psychiatrist. And finally, she is a member of the Region 19 women's basketball champion team at Union County College, ranked 7th in the nation, and her name is Kenu Obereri. Kenu, come on up.
Good morning, Senator Menendez, and good morning to all my friends from Union County College. Thank you for the privilege of allowing me to speak here today. My name is Kenu Obereri, and I'm a freshman majoring in biology here at Union County College. I began my academic journey majoring in biology at the Cranford campus in 2017 when I was 17 years old. Prior to enrolling here, I was young, confused, and concerned about what would be my future in reference to paying for college. As of now, my parents are paying for 3 of my other sisters to go to college all at the same time. But I have received financial aid during my academic journey, which results in a heavy burden being lifted off of my shoulders. Thanks to the Pell Grant, I am able to earn a degree without having to pay full tuition. This financial aid support not only enables me to get my education, but allows me to get involved in a lot of opportunities here at UCC. So far, I have earned commendable grades in all of my classes. I am a Division II women's basketball player, provisional officer of Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society, president of the Fordham Student Voice, member of Psi Beta International Honor Society, treasurer of the History Club, and I was able to start a community service awareness organization here at my school with the help of other students. I'm here to help other students get involved with the community. Without my financial aid, I would not be able to be where I am today, or more importantly, get to where I want to be. After my stay at Union County College, I plan to pursue my basketball career as far as it can take me. But also, I plan to continue my academic career. I want to go on a journey to a 4-year school and eventually get my medical degree and become a psychiatrist. As you can see, I have huge aspirations. If you don't dream, I have huge aspirations. I plan to go to med school. As the old saying goes, if your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. I would not be able to pursue this path if it wasn't for the financial support I received. FAFSA will forever be my catalyst of any success I achieve. Being able to afford college is a privilege and an honor. Thank you for this opportunity.